Yeah, the headphones are in case you can't hear me. You can be out in the street and open the windows and probably hear me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got two special guests today, and it's really exciting to me anyway that we have two very prominent men in the community here who really take their time to try to make their surroundings better. You know, I mean, it's so easy to talk about doing that. We all say we do it. But there's very few who actually get off their butt and do something. And what they've been doing for years, what I hope can inspire the rest of us, because I get lazy too. You know, it's so easy to do nothing. And there's so many problems. It's easier to sit in front of the TV and bitch and complain about everything out there instead of actually doing something. And these two guys do it. Okay, the one is Rick McLean. Okay, the gentleman on the far end, and he's with an organization called Project Give Back. Why don't you put up their slide, Eric, for Project Give Back? We got their website there. There it is. Okay, so you want to go find out more about them? ProjectGiveback.org. Okay. And they're outside of Washington, D.C., or inside Washington, D.C. And the other fella to my left here, and to Rick's right, is Joe Briggs. Now, he's with another organization. We get that slide. There it is. It's called Impact. But it's really, the website is impact-dc.com. And this is a pretty slick website, Joe. I don't know.
Thank you.
You got some high power there. And actually, I was telling them easier, too. You go through the people, man, everybody dresses to the nines who's involved in this. I want to be part of this impact. I want to go shopping with all these people. You know, they're just terrific. But both you guys, really, this is not your full-time gig at all. This is something that you just do as a citizen, Rick, right?
Yes. Yes, it's the founder of this organization is Ransom Miller. I'm sitting in for him today. Project Give Back, this is our 19th year. And,
wow, 19
years coming this year. And,
so you start when you were 12 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
So we, Project Give Back is an organization that really impact this community, and that's the drive of the mission. And have full-time jobs.
Yeah, full-time jobs otherwise.
Full-time jobs. And Project Give Back is a full-time job, 365 days.
I mean, for you also, so you have two full-time jobs.
Two full-time jobs.
Which one are you getting paid at?
The first one.
How about you, Joe? How is Impact doing?
So Impact's doing well. You know, we're in our 7th year. We're in our 7th year. Started in 2006 here in Washington, D.C. Around 3 core principles: civic engagement, economic empowerment, and political involvement. We've been doing the work of making sure that young professionals are able to not only be at the table, but also be knowledgeable about what they should be at the table to talk about. So it's been a great.
You mean young professionals? So young up-and-coming people to be smart about what's going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Folks like you.
Young guy.
Young professionals that are passionate
about
serving their community, trying to make sure that they're well-informed and hosting events so that they can make sure that they not only are well-informed but also connected with the folks that can make things happen.
I see. So it is a networking kind of thing, too.
It's a networking thing, too,
Do you feel that with your group, too, Rick?
Yes. We have a major volunteer base doing our Thanksgiving food drive.
Oh, the food. Oh, let me show a video. I have a little video of that. Okay. Let's show the first video here if we get the right one. Eric, you see the video project?
Right, joining me now live to talk more about this is the founder of Project Give Back. It's Ransom Miller. Thanks for being with us this morning, Ransom. It's a great show of people you got out.
Yes, it is. We're very blessed to have hundreds, approximately 400 volunteers came out today. We're very excited. KPMG, my sponsor company, gave Project Give Back the opportunity to serve as its fall outreach program. So all of their representatives came. Refuge Baptist Assembly sent hundreds of volunteers to come out and join us in this wonderful event.
And Howard University students too, correct?
Howard University sent 3 buses of students to come over and volunteer, and they've done an outstanding job.
Tell me how all this started with you. Why did you decide to do this?
Well, several years ago, 12 years ago, we sat together in a lunchroom and we talked about something to do for the holiday. And this is what we came up with. And we did 6 families the first year. and now we're doing 350.
How's it make you feel to do this?
It feels wonderful. There's such a need in this community for outreach and opportunities to give back. And you see by the amount of volunteers that came out to support us this morning that people want to give back during this time of year.
Ransom Miller, thanks a lot for joining us live this morning. And this is not over. Deliveries are still going on. It will be going on till about noon. They're doing a great thing out here.
6 guys, you came the next year, huh?
Yes, I came the next year after this. It's right now, 2012, we delivered over 1,000 baskets.
Wow!
As far as Baltimore to Portsmouth, Virginia, the whole metropolitan D.C. area. Project Give Back is really moving.
And you started just with, you did 6 people the first year. So
6
you had to start somewhere, right?
Yes, 6 people.
And you just keep going. Wow.
Yep, 1,000 families just passed this year.
Well, I got a little video on you too.
Okay.
Joe's
I'm excited
video,
to see what the video is.
Yeah. Go to the tape. This is like Highlight Sports or something. Right?
Let's go to the tape.
Yeah, right.
Right, joining me now live to talk.
There we go. That one.
On today's Dr. King's Day of Service, Impact is at Burrville Elementary School in Northeast D.C. doing a variety of projects, all designed to help teach the babies. Some of us are cleaning classrooms, some of us are organizing classrooms and supplies, and others are just making sure that the babies have fun. You guys just missed it, but Impact Director Angela Rye was being schooled by these 3 young ladies who are like hula hoop champions. Like, they doing stuff that ain't nobody else can do. This right here, goddamn, look, they up here raising their hands, they doing Simon Says. Sometimes the babies teach us. All of this to say that on some days, especially today, we have to do what we can to give back. Today, this is what we're doing. What are you going to do to impact your world?
And that's what it is. We're trying to make sure that we have an impact on our world every day.
Yeah. I mean, that must make you feel good when you see stuff like that.
It makes me feel excellent. But also, I must pause and say that I've also been a volunteer for Project Give Back. So it's not just about Impact and Project Give Back being 2 separate organizations. Yes. Impact supports Project Give Back 100%.
Really?
So we try to make sure that we send messages out to our newsletter database to get folks to volunteer for Project Give Back and other things here in the Washington, D.C. area.
So do you feel that, I mean, when you're talking about it, because I met you guys earlier at all, that it seems like a lot of this, and looking at your site particularly, Joe, that a lot of this is this networking that happens. I mean, it seems like you guys inspire each other. I mean, you just looking at that fellow talking about, I mean, he's throwing his soul out there, you know, when he's talking about that stuff. I mean, where else? I mean, if you're a stockbroker, do you get a chance to feel that?
Well, the crazy part about it is that through Impact, we have stockbrokers that come out and make them feel that way by connecting them with folks like the great people at Project Give Back. Yeah. We try to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to touch their community and be a part of their community, regardless of what they do in their day job and their 9 to 5. They live here, they work here, they pay taxes here, and we want them to make sure that the rest of the community members that they see every day are as enhanced as they are with the work that they're doing in our community.
Well, what stops? I mean, like when you said 7 years ago you started this?
Yes, sir.
You got out of Tallahassee and came up here?
Florida
Did you
State,
have a network already in town? You just called all your buddies and say, hey, let's do something good and fun? Or how did you do this?
The crazy part about it, I moved to Washington, D.C., didn't know anybody. Actually found my apartment on Craigslist and moved up here without a place
I'm looking at your website, man. You got people, all your friends work in the White House now.
Well, you know, so that's the progress that you've seen between the last 7 years when I moved up here knowing nobody with just my stuff in the back of my car to now having friends that work at the White House. I'm still the same guy that I was when I moved up here in 2006. And thanks to guys like Ransom and Rick, I've been able to develop a network of people here in Washington, D.C. Rick's a native Washingtonian, so I'm probably going to lean on him.
So is Wendy, my wife over there. There's 2 now. So you came up here not knowing anybody.
I came up here not knowing anybody, and then I saw a need, an area of need that I thought I could fill. Worked together with my great friend Angela Rye, who you've probably seen on MSNBC, doing a lot of commentating on various issues, including the sequester. I think I heard you say that you're going to talk about later on in the program. So we saw the fact that there was this thing. You would go to a reception here in Washington, D.C. There would be older people in the room and younger people in the room, and the younger people would kind of be standing in the back of the room like at the kiddie table.
I see.
So as one of those younger people in the room, I said there has to be some way that we can get all these these younger people together so that we can talk about the issues that pertain to us. And how can we make sure that our voice is heard as it relates to issues such as the sequester, such as the fiscal cliff, such as actually back then it was education policy. Everybody in the room had student loans, but nobody was talking about what the policies were around student loans and how we could perhaps get some more grace as it related to us moving past our college years into our later years of working. So Impact's been very successful over the last 7 years, and hopefully you'll have a chance to even follow us on Twitter at Team Impact or visit the website so you can see the great work that we're doing.
And Rick, if you started something like this today, from what you know, I mean, what would you tell somebody out there? Hey, I'd love to help people. I just don't know how the hell.
If someone wanted to start a foundation like Impact or Project Give Back, if that's what's in your heart and your mind, and this was on your heart to start a community organization like this, if that's what you want to do it. Don't procrastinate in it. Just go get it and start to put your ideas on paper and start to say, and get a name for your organization and put those things in place. Because one thing about it, if you look at that Project Give Back 19 years later now, we was right here where you at now. So you got to start somewhere. You got to be able to collectively get some friends together and say some people, because everyone knows someone that can help you along the way. Project Give Back, if you need to have a sit down with us, Impact, we open to help more friends, more people, because it's going to take all of us to impact this community. And Project Give Back is really open to that, because
you mean you help other people start something?
Help people, showing them the way, and because
someone showed us the way. The word foundation is daunting. I don't want to be a foundation. It sounds like a big building I got to screw around with or something.
Right. But, the key to what Rick is saying and what you've said as well is that everybody has to give a little bit. Rick and I both have day jobs. This is the stuff that we do when we're done doing our 9-to-5 jobs. We have to give a little bit of ourselves.
What
a little
gives
bit
you
of
the
that extra
energy to do that?
The thing that gives me the energy to do that is you saw the video that we just showed, and it had those young ladies that were at Burville Elementary School. Right. Seeing the smiles on their faces after we had gone in and cleaned up their school, painted the walls, reorganized the classroom so that the teachers could think about just teaching them the lessons and helping them break through their educational goals. That's what makes me inspired to do more work with Impact. So after I get off my 9 to 5,
that makes you not lazy.
That makes me not lazy.
If you didn't have that, you'd come home from a day of work. Oh shit! I'll just sit here and have a beer.
Exactly. So that makes me want to go out and put on my suit with question marks all over it, so that I can go out and affect my community.
Wow.
And to piggyback on what Joe was saying, and it's probably about 13 years ago. What drives me to continue to do Project Give Back, went to a family's house over in Southeast, and of grandfather was raising 2 sons. Never knew who put his name down on the list for a food basket. Had some young private school basketball players delivering the baskets with me, and they went in. He was raising 2 grandsons, didn't have anything in the refrigerator.
Wow.
So when this basket come that he don't know who put his name down, with enough food for 2 weeks, not just Thanksgiving, enough food for 2 weeks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the impact, just to see a grandfather struggling to raise his grandson, his grandsons, and Project Give Back helping him out. And that's to see the smiles on their face, and they have something to eat, not just Thanksgiving Day, because majority of people can find somewhere to eat on Thanksgiving Day, but what are they going to eat before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving? So that was drives me and drives Ransom to continue to move, and I'll go right now. We starting 1,500 families this year. That's how
1,500 from 6?
Yep, to 1,500 this year.
Wow.
And so that's doing the process, working every day. We still have to find ways to meet and make this vision, because once this vision is here now, and people depending on it and leaning on it. So we have to take it to the people.
Well, now, what's interesting to me, what you're talking about, is it's not an extra job that depletes energy. It's an extra activity that gives you energy.
Correct.
And who would think of that? I mean, when you're doing something extra, I'm going to work part-time or do something. Oh, man, I'm doing so much already. But here, this is food, you're saying.
Exactly.
You're getting.
It feeds the soul, and that piece of your soul that gets fed by you doing the great work in the community and seeing the smiles on these little kids' face, it helps you not only build up the motivation to go out and do it yourself, but also to talk to other people and try to help them experience that same great feeling that it is to go out and serve the community.
And how about in your main work? I mean, how do you see it? What do you bring from that to your day jobs kind of thing?
So what I bring from Impact to my day job is I work with a lot of young men in my day job as well. So the things that I try to bring from my work with Impact to my day job is perfecting how I can help them get better, right? Like, because I'm out doing this work in the community, I can then make suggestions to these young men on how they can also go out into their communities. And hopefully I have a spiderweb effect where not only is my work affecting my community, but their work is affecting their community. And before long, before you know it, there's this whole global effect happening of all these young men doing the great work that they can in their community.
Well, I mean, as you talk about this, I would say if you go out and do this kind of work that you guys are doing, and feel that humanity coming back, you go to your day jobs, I would think you start looking at those people you didn't like at work a little differently.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you see them a little more human, maybe.
I mean, in my day job, I'm in the IT field. I'm a network administrator in a big company, and so I reach and teach everyone there. I'm interactive in the IT field. So with Project Give Back, basically just talking to them and encouraging them and letting them know that things will get better. Reach out to your community and sharing somehow core values with them to help impact their daily lives. And that's what helped me with my coworkers, because one thing about it, if we can do this together, it's going to be a better place. And that's what Project Give Back drives, and that's what I tell my coworkers. We're thankful that we can help someone. But
so I always feel in life that the most selfish thing to do is to give, because it feels so great. Because it feels so great.
That's a great way to look
It's so
at it.
selfish.
Yeah.
It's finding some deserving bastard to give to.
Well, my day job, I'm a lawyer, right? So most people, the famous Shakespeare quote, how do you make a good start? You start with all the lawyers at the bottom of the ocean. But I think that by becoming an advocate of the people, I'm able to help folks not only get past whatever their situation is, but help folks figure out how to become advocates themselves for other people that may be in similar situations. So I take the work that I do with Impact and with Team Impact, my great squad of folks, including Sarah and Nina, Angela, Araya, who I mentioned earlier.
This is a Academy Award speech.
All the great people in Team Impact that are doing great work. I try to make sure that I'm just one piece of the wheel that's also teaching people how to advocate for themselves.
And now, how does someone start? Okay, I mean, you guys are inspiring. Okay, I'm still sitting on my chair at home, hating the job I got to go to on Monday. And what the hell do I do? I mean, how does it take a lot of my own money to do something like this? I mean,
it didn't really take a lot of our own money to start Impact, but it did take some. But most of all, what it took was sweat equity. Right. Like, so we started Impact in July of 2006. We were sitting in a restaurant. Angela Rye, David Johns, Simhar Araya, and Adria Crutchfield sitting at a restaurant in Silver Spring, Maryland, trying to figure out how we can solve this problem with the young people not being as involved and not being as engaged as they could be. And as we were sitting there having brunch, we said, okay, we can either stay here talking about this while we're sitting here enjoying these eggs and waffles, or we could get up and we could do something.
What was your first project?
The first project that we did was a networking reception that happened in 2006. It was
You threw a party.
We threw a party. And that was the first thing we did. Everybody likes having a party, right? So we threw a party trying to get all the people to come in and understand that this new organization existed. And they came. Right. So within 2 months of us starting Impact, we threw a party. Over 600 people came to an event that we did here in Washington, D.C. And from that point on, we haven't looked back.
So Rick, if I was somewhere out in Colorado or something and wanted to do turkeys on Thanksgiving or food like that, so would this be a good model maybe to, I'll get my buddies together at a party and we'll figure out how to do this next Thanksgiving?
Yes, it's a good model to start. Global, we started in down in Portsmouth, Virginia, and just basically reaching out to some of my friends, and they was like, Rick, we know you doing this big project in D.C. area. How can we bring it to Portsmouth?
Oh, I see.
I was like, okay, we make contacts with Walmart in Portsmouth. We don't have a headquarters there. You reach out to families that's in need, and we'll send a list to you, and we'll see what all the items that we have here. We're gonna make sure those families have the same items, and that's how we impact 10 families in Portsmouth, Virginia.
So no way. So somebody in Portsmouth said, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing in D.C." and they called Walmart. Now, how does Walmart?
I would call Walmart to find a food vendor in
I
their
see.
area.
Okay. Oh,
I would call the food vendor
because you're here.
Yes.
You know the system.
Yes.
So someone could call you, and they could be in New Jersey and want to do this.
Yes.
And
So
you
we
could help them do this.
So
huh?
basically,
now you're talking, man.
Once we get the cake has already been made. Now we just got to show them how to make the cake over and over. So the thing is that in Portsmouth, we basically had a couple of my friends there. They said, Rick, we need to impact this community the same way. So basically, show them the model. This is what we do. We find the families, and we deliver the food. Project Give Back is one of the only organizations in this metropolitan area that takes the food to the people.
So
everyone
in other words,
else,
you're saying the guy in New Jersey could get a franchise from you.
Yes, yes, he can.
And it doesn't cost him anything. You
don't
just
cost
him
him
the
anything.
skills, right?
Don't cost him anything.
And he gets his buddies. You help him arrange where to
help
get the
him arrange
food
it.
and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you're going to do everything for them.
Yes.
The guy doesn't have to know anything.
He don't have to know anything, and basically
just
trying
have some
to
friends.
Get his foundation name. He can.
He doesn't need that though, does he?
He don't need that.
No,
he don't need a foundation unless he want to move into his own thing and something different.
But until then, he could just use you.
Use his will right here.
Yeah.
So this is a good
because
model.
you have the contact. So why the heck would he want to?
Yes, correct.
Wow. Well, now that's cool.
So, and one of the ways that Impact supports it is by when we throw, a reception, one of our main core events, we would take down everybody's contact information and offer to reach out to them when we hear about projects like Project Give Back. So we'll take all the contact information down, and then when people like Ransom and the folks at Project Give Back reach out to us and say, hey, we have an event that's happening in this part of the country. Can you tap into your newsletter listserv? And we have about 60,000 people on our newsletter listserv right now. Can you tap into your newsletter listserv, segment the people out, send out a message so that we can get volunteers to come out to our event? We'll do that on behalf. We'll do that on behalf of organizations like Project Give Back and other organizations. Impact has been very successful in figuring out how to reach out to the population that we care about and the population that care about.
So you're getting like the Obama campaign.
Huh? Well,
you got all those names, man. People want to give.
You
so
no,
but what you're saying, if I want to do something good in North Dakota or something, you may have folks in your list.
We may have folks in North Dakota.
Exactly. That you
I definitely have folks in Boise, Idaho.
I say, that you could tap into you, and so it'd be getting a hold of Impact and arranging that to happen. So,
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. Just allowing this thing to happen everywhere, because everyone is in need, especially not just during the holidays. We do a Easter egg, and I was just talking to Joe about it coming up on March 30th over in southeast part of DC, and with some kids that didn't grow up with an Easter egg hunt. And I grew up with an Easter egg hunt in Washington, and we did special things. And so bringing that back to the kids for the last 10 years, that's to see their smiles and see them go out and see how many eggs they can get and have a big cookout for them.
Wow.
That's another one. And a toy drive we just passed in Christmas had a big toy drive, and taking the toys, family had 4 or 5 kids.
So if I want to do something like that somewhere,
anywhere in the
Utah,
world,
I got contact you guys. You just set me up on how to help do this.
We'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Well, I mean, that's terrific. Why didn't I know about this beforehand?
We'll figure out a way to get you off your couch. That's what we'll do.
Well,
You're
that's
not gonna
wonderful.
go straight home from work anymore.
Yeah, so. I mean, but it's just getting people, because people just don't know what to do. I mean, I'm like that. You see a lot of problems, you're frustrated, but how in the heck? And then it's I don't know how, and I'm frustrated. So you're given a cookie cutter, what to do step by step, and even arrange to get the food for people. That you just have to have friends who get in a car and drive it on time.
Right. And then we help them get friends in the cars and drive it.
That's terrific.
Right.
Well, you guys are just terrific. I just what kind of work you do? You're in IT, and what kind of lawyer? Are you on the Hill or something? What?
No, I'm a union lawyer. I work for a union here in town.
I see. Are there any left?
I tell people all the time, 2 of the biggest events that we have each year have unionized employees. You have the Super Bowl and you have the SAG Awards.
Oh, right.
The Super Bowl has almost 100% awards that are members of unions, because the NFL players are members of the
They're all
NFL Players
union.
Association. And then the SAG Awards, well, actually, the SAG Awards are the Screen Actors Guild, which is also a union. I work at a local union here in town, trying to make sure that I protect the working rights, working conditions
good for you.
of folks.
Wendy's an old union.
Wendy?
Yeah.